Switching gears this morning, let's go ahead and talk about some romance and love. So right now we are more than 6 months away from Valentine's Day. So there is a push to help couples out. This week is actually National Resurrect Romance Week. How about that? Colette Jane is here for some advice, and she is a licensed marriage and family therapist and also a relationship expert. First off, thanks so much for coming in, especially on a day like today. I'm glad you're here safe.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.
So talk to me a little bit about this week, National Resurrect Romance Day. What is it?
So it developed in 1995 as an alternative to Valentine's Day because we really need to prioritize our relationships throughout the year, not just one day a year. And there are a few simple practices you can do to boost connection and reignite the spark.
Okay, and what are those things?
So the first thing is touch, and specifically non-sexual touch. It's really important to differentiate the two, and that physical affection is not always linked to pressure or expectation for sex. So I have a magic formula for you, which is a 6-second kiss, a 20-second hug, and 10 minutes of cuddling a day. This is research-based.
Yeah, okay.
And this is just the right dose to boost oxytocin, which is the bonding hormone, and reduce cortisol, which is the stress hormone, making you feel much closer.
Okay, got it. Now, you know, as far as couples that might say, ugh, we're not on a great track, no matter what year of marriage they're on, what are some of your first advice, you know, that you would give to them, essentially?
Yeah, in addition to increasing touch, I would suggest expressing appreciation daily. Everyone needs a minimum of 5 positives for 1 negative to feel loved. So it's not just saying I appreciate you globally, it's really being specific. Pay attention to those little things your partner does throughout the day, like, hey, I noticed you emptied the dishwasher without me having to ask you. That was so helpful, thank you. That makes your partner really feel seen and valued, and will also enhance the overall fondness and admiration in the relationship.
Okay, so we have let them know you appreciate them. Non-sexual touch. Not that it was non-physical. I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense.
Physical, not sexual.
And then what's the third one?
Okay, and so the third one I love, it's having a new adventure together.
Okay.
So this really reignites the spark and boosts attraction because the brain craves novelty. And it doesn't necessarily have to be something elaborate or expensive. It's as simple as exploring a new hiking trail or trying a new cuisine or having some kind of new activity like pickleball or goat yoga.
Right.
It's just about doing something new where you laugh, you bond, and you play. We need to have more fun with our partners to keep the connection alive.
You know, and I think there's going to be maybe some different marriage advice for depending on where you're at in your marriage and
Sure.
how long you've been together. So what you would give to a very newlywed couple might be different than what you're going to give to maybe a couple that's been married for, you know, 20, 30, 40 years. So what is the different advice that you would give? If you're a newlywed right now, what would be the advice that you would give to make sure that they can continue to keep the romance alive? It probably already is pretty like alive at that point, right? But maybe they might need a little bit of help.
You're getting into good habits. I really think these things are the same for everyone. It's just during the newlywed stage, you're basically high on love, and you have so many neurochemicals firing that you don't have to do much to feel the spark.
Sure.
But if you get into good habits at that point, then they'll last you throughout the lifespan of the relationship, and you won't have to work so hard to catch up later.
And then how about for the couples that are in their 20, 30, 40 years of marriage?
Yeah, make it a priority.
Yeah.
Put your phones away, make eye contact, ask each other open-ended experiential questions like, tell me something you're proud of that's been happening in your life lately. Are you worried about anything? Is there anything I could do to better meet your needs? We stop asking each other these things and we kind of become roommates sometimes.
Yeah, I've heard that from people.
Yeah, so it's really important to get conversation going, touch one another in both sexual and non-sexual ways, and continue to have fun.
Date nights.
Yeah.
Date nights are very important.
Yes, but don't let them be stale. Make them inventive, and even if it means going to a different restaurant every time you go out. You know, couples fall into a rut and we get kind of bored.
Yeah.
So don't let it go stale.
Okay, there you go. Well, thanks so much for your advice today, Colette. Appreciate you for coming in on such a busy weather day. But of course, hey, we all need to learn a little thing or two when it comes to the romance department. So appreciate you. Thanks again.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. Ryan, I'm going to send things over to you.
All right, Deborah, sounds good.